This program brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop with confidence online, mobile and at your local store. And McDonald's, cheering for footy's little wins.
And away we go. Sunday, the roof is closed at Etihad Stadium. A good game of footy. That's what we're expecting. Let's see if we get it. One down by Roughhead, hooks it down behind. Bontempelli goes after it, head down, left the ball behind, picked up by Segler, got it across to Lewis. Liberatore played it well, gave it to Dalhouse, long kick inside the forward 50. Stringer at the back, dropped the mark, he'll still kick the goal, or will he? He goes over the top, will it run on? No. Well, on the line, Picken can't control it. Ball barracks for Hawthorn, you wouldn't believe it.
That was a blown chance. Really, it was an errant hand pass from Stringer. He didn't know whether to have the shot itself, but as soon as he hand passed over the head of Picken, they were in trouble.
Small sample size, but yet the feeling it's going to be quick from the Bulldogs. Interesting article today by Patrick Dangerfield Lee in the Sunday Herald Sun talking about the one step kick of Hawthorn is why they're so quick.
It's already a win for the Bulldogs, but because the Hawthorn player hung onto the ball for a few seconds, and that was the point. Normally they get it, one step, look, kick.
So Suckling against the old firm, 102 games, couple of them premiership games. Wow! Boyd flew, strong hands, not paid the mark. Burgoyne gets hold of the youngster, got rid of the football. Ling Jong, industrious, gets hold of the football. Look at the brown and gold in screen. Gibson, brilliant last week, comes and slows things down.
At least they've done the first part of the equation. They've locked the ball in their forward line for the first minute or two. Hawthorn haven't been able to get out now. Can they actually generate the score? That is the next phase of the Bulldogs challenge here.
Tom Boyd rising high there. Hearts a flutter. Roughhead knocks it down. Daniel missed it. Dalhouse did well to Daniel across the body. Going back. Well, did this for 4 quarters last week. Josh Gibson. Uncontested mark, runs the boundary, looking towards the outer side. High ball. McAvoy in that pack, in from the side, Schoenmakers. Runs onto a plied tackle. That's a very strong tackle too on Dalhouse, like a sack of spuds.
Let it go.
Like the way Dalhouse was the momentum body going into the pack in the first place. So all those things are little signs that the Bulldogs want.
Bontempelli. An extraordinary athlete he is, does the ruck work. Dalhouse well, it won't be the first time we say at the bottom of the pack. He's already been there a couple of times this afternoon. So on paper, so appetising today, the top dogs against the hot dogs.
Hawthorn.
3-2.
Lewis. Off you go. Did you blow time? Time back on. Play on you.
Well, no Hodge nor Roughhead, who were brutal against the Bulldogs in Tasmania when they last met. So the Dogs on that front in good shape. Hunter re-signed during the week. Back it goes. Morris. Murphy might be on the end of the Suckling handball. No, Suckling to Biggs. Another one of these young dogs who re-signed during the week. Got ran down. Birchall quickly, an opportunity to move it on. Burgoyne. Biggs corralled for the moment. Piopolo got to the right spot for him. Lowered the eyes, pulled the kick. Well done. McRae is there. Ian Murphy talked about it. McRae said, I'll take care of things.
Classy player. 11 Brownlow votes last season, 10 the season before. Not his best effort though. Birchall cuts it off. Here's Smith, so important to Hawthorn. Across the ground, what a brilliant kick it is. Well, Bruce dropped the mark, bounced off his chest. Hadn't worked hard enough. There goes the kick down towards the pocket. Segler. Push from the front by Morris, conceding some height. And the ball goes out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. Bulldogs lead by that only score.
This is when Caleb Daniel was about to tackle Paul Piopolo. That's the one player who's not going to tackle him high.
Roughhead and Segler. Roughhead decisively. McRae's over the football. Liberatore winning a hard one, but going nowhere. Segler takes him down. Ball up.
Thanks, Bill. Come out back there. High contact, Hawthorn on the throat. Martin, you're on the mark.
Always interesting the ruck free kicks. They're pushing and shoving. And
he's on the mark.
One player, the Bulldogs player on that occasion, just a little high in the contact.
Been a great story for Hawthorn over the last couple of years. Not yet a premiership Hawk, Adams, what a story he's been. Starting his third game and already a cult hero at the Western Bulldogs, Bontempelli. A wonderful kick finds Boyd. A couple of the young dogs who are going to be a huge part of what happens at the kennel over the next decade or so. To Johannesson, game 50. He's been electric. Murphy moves it on, as always, beautifully by foot to Hunter. He had a big week, re-signed. Horse won the Mornington Cup. He was brilliant on Saturday against St Kilda. Back it comes to Adams.
Now, there's a Bulldog down in midfield. It's Roughhead. It's interesting because they don't have a lot of cover if they lose their ruckman. He's coming off the ground with what appear to be ribs.
It was outside the play. I didn't see what happened. We'll see if we can pick it up with our cameras. But all of a sudden he was just prostrate on the ground, well away from where the play had been.
That's a big story. That could expose them. That last kick went out of bounds on the full. Shields told to play on, drives it inside the forward 50. Adams from behind tried to punch it away, but McAvoy with his strong hands. Terrific mark. Taylor made for the spoil, but no one could knock it free. Roughhead.
It'd be a great pick-up when he's come. There's Roughhead being intended to on the beach, but pick up from St Kilda, McAvoy. There's a lot of players in the Hawthorn team, in fact, that played at other clubs, but McAvoy was just the man for the moment. A big, strong ruckman when they needed one.
They're assuming that Roughhead will come back. If he doesn't, Boyd would go on the ball, and that changes everything up forward. Meantime, McAvoy kicks truly. That was a great back mark. More of that in the game too, as they move the ball a little more quickly. Players not getting out on their own as often. And McAvoy virtually the front spot. It's pretty hard on the forward line. Much easier to mark as a defender. Got the choice.
Good goal, good 40-metre set shot, but even better was the height that he kept when he was able to take the pack mark with plenty of Bulldogs pressure around him there.
Roughhead off, Boyd goes into the middle. Roughhead is down in the rooms, picking quickly over the shoulder. Hunter, Birchall. Birchall uses his body pretty well. Hunter, the chase is on. Birchall has the experience, finds Frawley. Gibson already getting a lot of the football. Liberatore got hold of Gibson, hasn't made a big attempt to get rid of it.
And here's a bit of news for you. I think Wallace is actually taking the Mitchell matchup. So whatever Luke Beveridge said early in the week, I think you'll find Wallace is... Mitchell hasn't touched the ball yet.
Roughhead's fine. 2 down here, boys. He went for a jog up and down. He'll be back out in the field soon.
Well, that is good news. So Eastonwood, the laid out. The Dogs could ill afford to lose Jordan Roughhead. Cousin not playing for Hawthorn this afternoon. Wallace, Langford, 2 tough customers collide. In the end, brilliant stuff out the back to Kobe Stevens. Boyd, Bruce was the tackler, dropped the football. Quickly Murphy went and got it. Waiting for it is Boyd, stolen. Well, Shields in his first afternoon, perhaps his first kick, gives it back to the Dogs. Hamling, the man that came in for Eastonwood, retreats and finds Marcus Adams.
So Adams across half back. Oh, terrible kick. Bounces it to Schoenmakers. He snaps it goal wide of the mark.
That'll test your confidence. He hasn't added too many downers in a couple of weeks. The first couple of games, Marcus Adams, but when you spread the ball cross field and give it back to the opposition 40 metres out from goal, that will test your composure.
And he yells Tiddler. There goes the ball towards the outer side, reaching over the top. Nice mark is taken by Morris. Playing on at all costs. The West Coast Eagles did not do that. Jong pushes forward. He got it from Hunter. There's the kick from Wallace. Stringer flies over the top. Stratton gets back first. Just jabs at 2 metres. Bounced obligingly for Litherland. He's got the pace. Coming to beat him there was Wallace. Rolls on. Taken by McAvoy. Wallace bulldogs him. Takes him down. And the ball spills out of bounds.
If Stratton deliberately kicked that ball into the ground to pop up for Litherland, he's got extraordinary control over Dr. Sharon. That was brilliant stuff. Hunter on the up. Kobe Stevens has Murphy just lurking around the back. Who does he choose? Well, a high, long ball. Tough for all concerned. Bontempelli flew. Well, the youngster had it a long time. not paid the mark. Ling Jong now to Pickett. He's been a revelation so far this year. Bouncing ball. Shields will be able to mop up. Back to Birchall. Quickly over the top. Now Frawley. Well, Dogs fans unhappy with that decision on Bontempelli.
Hunter unhappy at the moment too. Just because he's unhappy as the ball comes across the ground from Frawley. Mark is taken by Smith. Wants some men to come at him. Tongue obliges. Inside the centre square just as Mitchell. There's a bit of a tease, Sam. What a player he is. Leading the lead coming in around 2 in possession. There's a cross half back. Gibson. Little short one. On the move. Birchall. So Birchall.
Roughhead's back on, boys.
Took a peek and then stopped. That's good news. Roughhead is back out there. So there's Gibson once again just bobs up.
Long ball down the wing. Well done, Segler. He had the height advantage over Murphy. Now long ball. Sicily about the place. Rioli, not quite. Schoenmakers. Suckling read it well. Back to Mitch Wallace. Good to see Roughhead back on the ground. Tumbling sort of a ball to halfback. Ling Jong got a hand onto it. Hunter went and got it. Just stopped in the end by O'Rourke. Handball was meant for Liam Picken. Hartung went and got the football. Mitchell, brilliant. Got the ball above heads. Works it inside 50. Lewis continues to push it forward. Rioli's found his man. Adams. Rioli.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. Good call. He saw the tackle coming. He ducked forward. As Maxie said in the pre-game, you've had your prior opportunity. If you duck forward, you've done your prior opportunity. And if you can't get it clear.
And tackles are 14-7 in Hawthorn's favour, so really been a focus for him clearly.
Rioli 80 kilos. Adams pushing 100. Rioli. He's just dragged it across the face. 7-point lead. The Hawks, Dogs find themselves in a position they haven't found themselves in all year, and that's behind.
Just unlike him though, that kick. There's Murphy to the pocket, drives it around the outer side. In front, Liberatore couldn't hang on. Gibson ushers it out of bounds, so a throw in. Great to see him back too. Tom Liberatore. Son of a gun, they've got a few of them.
I think that call of Wallace on Mitchell was premature. He must have just been on it for about the 20 seconds there. He's certainly not on him as a close checker.
O'Rourke is over the football, needs to be careful. Wallace, saw his dad earlier today. Steve, former captain. Hasn't Wallace become a good player too?
Straight back.
Wallace now, Langford, giving their big men a little bit of assistance. Well, Caleb Daniel, he debuted on this ground. He's been brilliant since on that occasion. Not as I've liked. So Gibson, 44 last week and a goal. Back to Litherland. Now to Stratton. He's got a man loose. Shields will go in his direction, and Shields has got a paddock in front of him. He can just amble down the wing. Sicily calling for it deep. Schoenmaker short. In the end, Schoenmaker's chosen. Still might get to Sicily. No, he's ignored again. Segler, the tall man, well, outnumbered. And, well, Roughhead was brilliant in the air. Read it perfectly. The skipper takes the handball.
Murphy drives it out where they haven't got the numbers. Gibson should have punched it forward. I think he may have tried that. McLean's away, though. Bit of a speedster running around the outer side, testing Gibbo, who can't go with him. McLean down towards half forward, propping off the ball, Liberatore, but he didn't account for the spare man. He fell over, got up quickly, but now he's forced to chase. Burgoyne gives it across to Litherland. He kicks it up towards the wing. 2-on-1 again here at the back of the pack. The danger still could come over the top. There he is. Mitchell gets free, hard against the boundary line. Deep into attack. Hamlin goes across and takes the mark. Had a spell at Geelong from Western Australia, I think, originally. There's Adams. Short one. Finds Boyd. What a terrific player over the journey Matty's been.
So if you've just joined us, Joel Hamling in for Eastonwood. Hamstring soreness, tightness, precautionary we're told. Caleb Daniel, well done. Morris. Kobe Stevens tries to get away from Langford. Bit of support helps. He works it in the Liberatore direction. Again, Giray, terrific in the air.
Done a good job, Hawthorn, of just closing this game down in the first bit of the game. The Bulldogs haven't been able to really just run and link and carry, play the kind of style they want. Hawthorn are just blocking their outlets beautifully.
Segler almost takes it cleanly out of the air, knocked it down to Mitchell. Dalhouse, though, ended up with the football to Bontempelli, hard up against the boundary on the outer side. Burgoyne somehow to Hartung. Hot football. Dalhouse had it ripped away. Couldn't quite get boot to ball. And underneath it all, McRae.
Different start to last week.
As we'd hoped for, isn't it?
Yeah. Dogs taking it right up to them. There's Rioli. Roughhead and Segler fought a draw, fell at their feet. Biggs grabs it. High ball floating. Down towards the pocket. Ample time for quite a few players to get across. Duray knocked it down. Short hand pass from Hartung. Langford couldn't do much with it. Pickin. High ball. Bounces on its point. Look out. Trying to snatch it away. Stringer. Down goes Gibson. Liberatore got him. It's going to be a ball up.
Dogs fans wouldn't know what hit them, Lee, against the Dockers. They conceded only 2 points in the opening term, 1-1 versus the Saints.
Yeah, the opposition just all over their forward pressure. Hawthorn.
Bobbling ball. Chance for Stevens. Wanted Liberatore. Lewis was there. Ends up with Stevens nonetheless. Back it comes. McLean was chosen. Missed. Mitchell again hard up against the boundary line on the left boot. Gains a heap of territory. Might end up with Hamling. Tries to get around. Gunston. Tackle is brilliant. Ball is over the line. Gunston furious.
So he should be.
Yeah, the defensive pressure all over the ground. Hawthorn's being not only in their defence but in their forward line. They're just not allowing the Bulldogs to run and break it open and use that leg speed that we think is one of their strengths.
So Hamling dipped the shoulder. He took the tackler on. Gunston got him. Duray, meantime, missed kicks, but it finishes up with Puopolo. He goes deep into attack. Bruce leads in the race there. Good tackle by Morris. Got him down. The ball was in there somewhere. Adams had it momentarily. Sicily pushed as he kicked. Missed by Daniel. Off the ground by Shields, and it's just missing to the right. A number of tantalising half chances for the Hawks there, but they couldn't make one.
We heard the umpire, so Pickin. Back it goes to Boyd. Lin John works it into the hands of Pickin. Over the top to Suckling. Have a look at that kick. It's brilliant stuff. Over the top is Stringer. Liberatore saw him, kicked. Not as he would have liked. Bouncing ball for Stringer. Cruel bounce. Ends up with Stratton. Now a chance for Duray. Liberatore, who would be disappointed with his kick to Stringer. Sees the ball in Sicily's hands. So a great opportunity has passed now for the Dogs. Over the shoulder was Morris on Gunston. Shot clock is on. Gunston has contemplated all other options, and I think now he's going to go back and see what he can do from probably 53 or 54 when he strikes the football. Well, you can't kick a footy much better than that. Outstanding. Hawks have got their second. There's a few players when they have the ball in their hands in front of goals you feel very comfortable about. Jack Gunston is one of them.
It's a beautiful kick. I mean, he had to really unload on that one, but he kicked it straight. He's obviously kicked the ball about 55 metres. He's got that length. And sometimes when you kick the long distance control power, you keep it on line much easier than even close in where they tend to steer them. Beautiful kick. If you look at the python strangling the prey at the moment, the Bulldogs' first few minutes was really energetic and they moved the ball quickly, but Hawthorn have shut them down, and now it's a question. They've got a little bit of a deficit on the scoreboard. Can the Bulldogs keep pushing and running and creating? Don't freeze up.
Well, McAvoy didn't do well. Same problem. Mitchell looks back towards the corridor. Rioli comes to him, takes the mark. Eyes darting, comes out towards the wing. Burgoyne, man on the move further is Sicily, down towards the 50. Protected the fall of the ball brilliantly with his body. Contorted his body in mid-air, Sicily. Impressive last week. Centering ball. High one. At the back there, McAvoy. Get his hands to it. Suckling. Look away. Hand pass. McRae. Suckling once more. Now some time for Morris. Out of the back pocket. Chipping it wide. Oh, terrific Geray. Like a soccer goalkeeper going up to protect the corner of the net. He was able to punch it away and will have a boundary throw.
They just shrunk the ground. And it's all of a sudden, when the Bulldogs have got the ball and looking for an option, Hawthorn are just shut them all off.
Rough head to Lin Jong. Quickly Hunter knocks the ball forward. Frawley happy to see it over. Picken arrives late and makes James Frawley think about it. For all that, Frawley will be rewarded. Picken, well, frustrated perhaps, certainly undisciplined.
Play on.
Gibson
Play on.
to Burgoyne. Now to Stratton. Stratton to Shields. Loves to run. Shut down just for the moment by Lockie Hunter.
Get on. Play on.
The Bulldogs in the first few weeks at this stage of the opening quarter have been well in control of games. Right now, they face football's biggest challenge.
Back over. Thank you. Play on.
5 minutes to play in the first term. The Dogs penetrating ball again. Boyd the flyer. Lockie Hunter almost took control of the football. Smith, tackle was perfect. Over the top, Birchall. Gibson under pressure. Boyd, top of the square. No one at home.
Tackle by Liberatore, not rewarded. Kick comes out over the head of Puopolo. They battle close to the boundary line and it goes out of bounds. Puopolo and John. I think on my kitchen walls that would be described as what? Some Asian fusion. It's Mediterranean touches. Wide. The ball comes to Mitchell from McAvoy. Hooks it towards the wing. That's a terrific mark by Morris. Just feeds it back. Suckling, not 15. Boyd up on his toes quickly. Now Johannesson runs the outer side. Daniel, McRae, braced the contact. There was none. Over the top, Wallace got it back to McRae. Johannesson demanded a bit of McRae, who managed to get boot to ball. In goes Langford, looping hand pass into space. More space. Mitchell gets it from Lewis. Called that many a time, and that's a beautiful searing kick onto the chest of Shields, who plays on immediately to a left footer, so no problem here. Birchall drives it long to half forward. Edged under the ball down there was Adams. Brilliant Rioli. Just tapped it over the top. Bruce goes in, and he misses to the left-hand side.
Great chase by Boyd. We're going to get a stat for that. Didn't even quite lay the tackle, but Boyd was the real hard chaser here. And if he hadn't made the ground to just put the pressure on Bruce, that would have been a goal for sure.
How often do you see it? Rioli, he won't get a disposal for it, but that quick mind of his knocking the ball forward to Bruce. Just a little slap. Meanwhile, Morris feeds Hunter. When turn feeds Wallace, but misses him. Shields ends up with a football. Wallace, terrific tackle. Ball goes to ground. Burgoyne by foot, just off the ground to Langford. Back it comes. Hawks have got the numbers for the moment. To half forward it goes. Here's a chance, Sicily. Great hands, and again, they're on display this afternoon. Terrific last week.
Outreached Dalhouse, but he still had to actually just ease him under the football marginally to enable the extra height to count.
Kicked 4 last week, Sicily. Really arrived. He was looking for the acting skipper in Lewis. Full stretch, couldn't control it. Bruce, who missed moments ago. Fine run thing. Puts it back inside. Caleb Daniel did well. Johannesson, hurried kick. McLean has to wait a long time. Litherland couldn't quite kill the ball. McLean, he's lean and light. He gets taken high.
Just under 3 minutes till quarter time. Johannesson. Back to Boyd. They need a late goal, the Dogs, just for their own self-confidence. They've been mixing it up okay. Boyd to Daniel. Run down Puopolo, but gets the hand pass off to Morris. And McRae. Got it right out back. Short one again. We'll test this for Beveridge's game plan, which is similar, no doubt, to his old coach. In the other box, Daniel drives it down towards half forward. Juggled attempt at the mark. Boyd. Still time for a goal. Plenty of time. Maybe a couple. Boyd looks inside the forward 50. Long bomb. Stringer is up. Knocked away. Goes behind the pack. Clever by Litherland. Just deflected it across deftly. Gibson comes away. Kicks to midfield. Lewis can't get there in time. Hamling takes the mark.
Quickly moves the ball on. Matty Boyd now driving ball inside 50. Going back with the fight again was Boyd. He's looked terrific in the air. Not yet clunked the ball, but certainly looks more confident. Mitchell, the look-away handball. Bounces once, almost for Birchall. McRae read it well. Couldn't get hold of the football, but stopped Hawthorn moving on from half-back.
Gee, their back six has been outstanding, Hawthorn. 10 inside 50s front and 1 behind. They've had a few almost, the Bulldogs forwards, but that Hawthorn back half has just been outstanding early.
Jordan Lewis just knocked it down. Ended up with Wallace. Here's a half chance. It dissipates. Mitchell again. Half a dozen times he's been in that position. Hard up against the boundary on the outer side. Long ball on the left, getting Hawthorn out of trouble, but only momentarily. Hamling back to Murphy. Here's a chance. Bouncing ball taken cleanly by Johannesson. He moves it on to Pickett. Settles over the top. Biggs is on. Well, so too Boyd. Biggs in the end is chosen. Flat-footed. Burgoyne didn't just rush at him, made him kick over the top. Well, a couple of Hawks collide. Gibson and Frawley. Frawley ends up with the football. Shields now to Hartong. Terrific last week, Hartong. Now to Bontempelli, and the Dogs are away.
Late chance, Bontempelli to Wallace. McRae, the ball in good hands all round. McRae, a good kick. Didn't quite get to Stringer, but gave him the advantage. He's deep in the pocket. Wheels around, hard against the boundary. Kicks it hard. And misses. He kicked it hard to kick the line. It just slid across the face.
Yeah, great defence by Stratton. He was set up then, Stringer, but Stratton got his hand to the ball and made it a ground level contest, not a mark and set shot at goal.
There's Birchall in the pocket then. 16 plays 2. The thing that enthralls me about the Western Bulldogs is the absence of a couple of goal kickers. Tory Dixon is injured, booted 52 last year. Stuart Cramry, of course, won't play this season, booted 38. Almost 100 goals out of their team. They need goals now. It's quarter time at Etihad Stadium. It's Sunday football. And Hawthorn 2-4-16 are resisting the challenge of the Western Bulldogs on 2 behinds. Started the second one then. Roughhead, who took a heavy knock and came off in the first quarter, number 23. Against number 18, Segler. Roughhead wins it down. Bontempelli's hand pass intended for Liberatore. Dalhouse kicks it down towards half forward. In front down there is Stevens. Frisking him from behind was Birchall. Birchall's got the footy now and steps out of bounds. Got it from Duray.
Stringer's the one I think who needs to spark the Bulldogs. He's had a few half chances, including that first one when that hand pass mistake was a rush behind. He's almost got Stratton a couple of times, but needs to actually make him pay.
Picking off balance. Roughhead. Bontempelli, nicely done. Suckling with the umpire. Birchall. Little bluff there. Didn't work out. Mitchell got it from Duray. Goes to the back pocket. Opposite side of the ground in Frawley. Now the long kick will get them out here. Nice gather by Litherland. Goes to McAvoy. Or is it Schoenmaker? Schoenmaker's the man out there. He's taken the mark close to the boundary, but with no momentum up. The kick just held him up out there. Short, back inside, O'Rourke.
Well, these young Hawks trying to impress Alistair Clarkson. Another McAvoy. And again, the Dogs have got back in huge numbers. Smothered ball. Chance now for the Dogs to rebound. Quickly over the top, Hunter. Morris taken quickly, illegally so. No, beautifully so. Taken in the air. Got rid of the football.
Look at that.
Umpire said wasn't legal. Mitchell, pinpoint to Smith. Sees one wide. Birchall, he'll run onto his left boot. He'll get close to 50. Goes long. It's a thumping ball. It's just about got the carry, but falls short. Second opportunity. This time, Puopolo. Johannesson, quick thinking to Roughhead. When got the football. Pretty ordinary handball to Suckling. Rioli. Well, he was having a look at a former teammate, lining him up. Oh.
That was interesting. I thought he played that as well as he could possibly play it, Suckling. He knew what he wanted to do, but it looked like it was enough of a fumble to get the benefit of the doubt. The player who forces the ball out of bounds is not getting the benefit of the doubt at all.
He dressed it up a bit, didn't he? And that cost him, I think.
Well, Rioli, 4 last week. Like shelling peas. Just extraordinary how casually he does things so brilliantly. Last week he was magnificent and well, got so much of the football, did brilliant things with it, and did so many things without the football. Put so much pressure on Suckling. He panicked a little. Umpire said he didn't act it out well enough. The result, Hawthorn's third.
Let's have a look at this. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, but I thought he did it. He disguised it well enough that, well, yeah, that'll be out of bounds.
What about Cyril, eh?
The umpire gave him no benefit of the doubt, and I think Suckling doing that is partly because Rioli puts pressure on you.
Segler hooks it down. Liberatore, who the help was. So did Pickin. Bontempelli towards half-forward, poor kid. Getting back Gibson. Dominated the game against the West Coast Eagles last week. Comes short. Mitchell again doing much as he likes, lobbing this ball wide for Gunston. The better recovery, Gunston peels off from Murphy, sends it deep into attack now. Schoenmakers clears his own path. He's taken this mark about 10 metres out. Sicily and Hamling shape up, but Schoenmakers has got the footy. And this is right on the borderline, just tosses him out of the way. I'm not sure you can do that.
15 gone. Guys, bring it back.
Should kick this goal.
Back to me.
Back-to-back goals very quickly. That could hurt the Dogs. Straight through. And they kick away now. They lead by 26 points.
How are the Dogs feeling at this point, Lee?
I think they're feeling very, very tense. I mean, I just think Hawthorn have strangled them. They had a little bit of the ball early, the Bulldogs, but couldn't get this. They just couldn't actually release the pressure on the scoreboard. And the Bontempelli turnover was the one that created the scoring opportunity. Just at the moment, the Bulldogs now.
What's that, mate? Clearance is 5-zip. Did you say? Was it clearance is 5-zip? They've got a problem in the middle, Lee. Centre clearance is 5-zip in favour of Hawthorn.
Keep bringing them out.
Sorry, in favour of the Bulldogs. Yeah. And they've only scored the one behind from it.
You can see Stringer's gone in there now, boys. Just the two disposals at this point in time.
Straight back.
They talk about the Yankees intimidating their opposition through the pinstripes. Hawthorn, just by merely being on the ground, have almost a similar factor. Some of the Bulldogs making errors that they haven't made in the opening rounds of the year. Bontempelli's hardly missed a target. Caleb Daniel a couple of times has felt under pressure, you suspect. Isaac Smith driving ball to Rioli. Just drifted in, ghosted by. And again, the cleanest of hands.
1 metre.
We were talking to Nick Rewald last week. He was on the coverage. He was saying the Bulldog defence don't seem to play on you. They just play an area. Well, when you play an area on Rioli, and I don't know who his direct opponent was, but if he has a fair leap at the ball, he will jump on the pack.
Well, Rioli's got 2 in this term, and the Hawks are suddenly looking really dangerous. 5 goals for to just 2 behind. We've played just 6 minutes in the second term. The margin out to 32 points. We're talking about a Dogs outfit who've beaten the minor premiers by 65 and St Kilda, who were pretty good yesterday, by 10 goals. And they find themselves in a spot of bother.
Yes, it's not so much the scoring against you. 5 goals is a reasonable score by Hawthorn, but it's just the Bulldogs have dried up their scoring. No goals as yet at all. Have a look at this Rioli. We know if he gets a jump at a pack, he can jump on it. And he didn't even need to jump on the pack. That was just a leap into space. He's so athletic.
That was a super jump, wasn't it? McAvoy beaten again by Roughhead.
Holding the man. Hawthorn, play on.
Rourke got it from Lewis. Birchall comes out wider. Just for the moment, the Bulldogs can't get their hands on the footy. Gibson spotting Langford. So Langford right on the wing, goes down the line. Bustling run comes from Lewis. Good with ball in hand. There's Rioli, wide of the action. Biggs gets up and takes the mark. They need a settler. Suckling decision didn't help, but That's the way the game is played these days. Birchall in front, knocked away by Morris. Cycling, there he is. McRae through midfield. Stevens. Dalhouse ran into a gold and brown wall, it appeared. Suckling gets it back. McRae goes across and they recovered brilliantly. Daniels got it about 20 metres out.
Yeah, to say they need a goal is an understatement. The longer it takes you to actually score a goal, the more you sink emotionally. And they've had a few chances. This is by far their best chance. Maybe that stringer one at the very start of the game, but at least it's a set shot. 40 metres, 45-degree angle, but they're just amazing if you can get that first goal, how the whole emotion of the game can turn, and that's what the Bulldogs have to do to peg the Hawks back.
Daniel, his first possession in this term, he had 8 in the first quarter. A lot riding on this one. He's tugged it left.
Mitchell continues to find so much of the football. This time, pinpoint on the right boot to Gunston. Back inside quickly. Lewis, full stretch. Might get a second crack at it. Ran into Frawley and then lost control of the football. Now a chance for Hunter. Lin Jong goes through the legs. Well, after the Daniel miss, this would buoy their spirits if somehow they can manufacture a goal. But working through the Hawthorn maze is a difficult task. To the top of the square. Who's at home? McAvoy, Gibson. 2 Hawks fly. Frawley at ground level. He and Wallace clashed heads. Wallace still ferreting around underneath it all. You heard the whistle.
The Bulldogs jumper is still boring out after the footy at ground level pretty well, so they certainly haven't become tentative by the scoreboard deficit.
Gibson had it knocked in his direction by Roughhead, who won the tap decisively. Kobe Stevens had it, and as soon as he got it, Shields tackled. McLean went low, got taken high. Well, Pendlebury-esque from yesterday, Lee.
Yes, dropped the body high again. He certainly dropped his body weight, but I don't know. I just a lot of the footy community reckon you can't play for free kick. But if you, it's Rourke is the tackler. If you're saying to him, if you want to tackle me a little high, I'll drop 6 inches and it becomes around the neck.
So the 20-year-old from Narre Warren searching for the Dogs first. He squeezed it through. Dogs on the board from a major sense. And plenty of niggle.
Let's go, guys. Move it on. Thanks, fellas. Let it go, Jordan. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Would have been terribly deflating, Lee, if McLean had missed that after the Daniel miss. It would have become, well, yes, this isn't our day. But suddenly, back to just on 4 goals, 25 points the margin. Just a little bit of confidence from finding a way to get a major.
Now let's see what happens. The Bulldogs, they've got the 6-point shares, but it's the emotional lift you get out of a goal when you've been struggling to get on the scoreboard. Just see if that can give a boost to their energy levels in general play.
Margin 25 points. Segler unloads, but the umpire wants it back. Umpire Chamberlain, we name names here. Midway through the term. Segler and Roughhead, perfectly tossed up, spills wide. Wallace is over it, taken high. Still the Bulldogs lead in possession. Some of it under pressure. Johannesson kicks inside the forward 50. Well done by Daniel, able to knock it away. Well done by Mitchell. Back to Birchall, Frawley. Hawthorn running out of space. Bontempelli chases. Hawthorn, little chipping pass, and he finds a teammate in Giray.
Dangerous kick, but as usual, they make those dangerous kicks.
Giray to Gibson, just orchestrating things from the back. He comes out to Puopolo. Cocked, he was ready to go, just slips it away to Smith, who moves smoothly towards half forward, pinpoints the ball, and Shields marks at the numbers. Now, Gunston is deep and unattended in the pocket. Gunston's a little annoyed. He's got Johannesson on him now, but still it wouldn't be a bad matchup. He was 20 metres in the clear down there. Shields a little flustered by all of that. Gunston still giving him instructions. Shields ignores him. and then wishes he hadn't as he misses badly. Gunston normally doesn't remonstrate with his teammates. He's a beauty, but he's a little irked by that one because he was waiting with a lot of space around him and probably could have marked it and almost moved on.
He gave him another spray after the ball had sailed through for a behind. So a couple before he kicked and a third just for good measure. Suckling to McLean, who kicked the goal for the Dogs a minute or so ago to the wing. Boyd just flew from behind, knocked it down, didn't attempt to mark the ball. Roughhead beaten to the ball. Gibson, Segler combined. Gibson goes searching, finds Stratton, back to Mitchell. I'll have a look at that kick. Just extraordinary how he can find his man. Langford got taken down by Caleb Daniel. Langford was away. Well, Daniel's kick not ideal. Liberatore under immediate pressure. Burgoyne the tackler. Langford got the football, intercepted by Johannesen. Had it, lost it. Lewis, O'Rourke, Shields, Smith. Doubles back. Doesn't get rushed. And then just works the ball into the hands of Birchall.
The Dogs have just got to clear their heads. They're in there. Fumbles, trying to do the right thing, but just hurrying it. Need to slow it down a bit. This is Litherland. Need to slow him down too as he breaks away from half back. Long kick. Bruce will fly from behind. Good mark, Adams. Hit the ground moving. Hamling goes back to Suckling.
He's been good, Suckling too. I think he's been the one Bulldogs player who's been really good with ball in hand.
High ball short of the wing. McLean needs to go. Couldn't impact the contest. Segler takes the mark. Lanky customer down towards left half forward. An emergency for the grand final last year. Just lobs this one back inside the forward 50. Suckling will come in from the side. Adams again. And that would have hurt. No give in this stadium. And Adams, two terrific marks after a couple of mistakes early. He's fighting back.
So the 22-year-old just drives the ball to the wing. Roughhead sees it soar over his head. And then Litherland has time to give easily to Birchall. Wonderful handball back. Finds Stratton. He sees a man over the top. So for all he's chosen, again, the kicking of Hawthorn, something to watch and enjoy. So confident this side. By hand, by foot, regardless of personnel, they go out onto the ground believing they'll win, and you sense to Langford it goes, pushing the back is what we heard the umpire say. So Langford, searching ball. Schoenmakers caught behind. Boyd at half-back flew. Ball goes to ground, taken high. Liberatore. Essentially, the team that's done so much against the team wanting to show they're worthy, and the young Dogs a little overawed, just panicking in key moments at the moment. Wallace wide, now a chance for Morris. Loose man over the top.
And the odd man out here. The trouble is kicking goals, I think. Dalhouse kicks it long. Stringer will come from behind. Up he goes. Well, it was actually Hubber. Got his hand to it. Couldn't take the mark. Ball comes out towards the boundary. Dalhouse, clever kick around the corner. And the mark is taken by Boyd and/or a free kick.
That is a clever kick. It was a ball that was going to run out of bounds, but it was in this forward 50. Dalhouse with it. If I can keep it in.
15. Not 15. Yo.
Well, from Pickin goes out of bounds on the fall. Good call by the umpire because he nailed it early.
Gordon, back to me, please. Back to me.
Look at that from Dalhouse, outside of the inside boot.
It's incredible. That's typical of the way the Bulldogs forwards have been. They just can't make the most of those 60-40 chances.
Schoenmakers strong at half-back in the air. Kicked a goal already, Schoenmakers, the second goal of this term.
Clear it out. Go back, reset. Thank you, Tom.
So if you've just joined us, McAvoy and Gunston, the goal scorers. Roughhead intercepts the Dogs. They can get their second. Back-to-back goals to the Western Bulldogs. Well, as it was looking like it was going to be another lean term, the Bulldogs have kicked two in a row.
Been a bit of an arm wrestle, hasn't it? They got that goal, and then for the next 5 minutes or so, they've just been able to prevent Hawthorn getting the answering goal. And that's a bad turnover from Hawthorn. Back pocket in towards centre half back. Easy goal to Roughhead. don't see that often, but particularly when you go into a smaller target, which is Hawthorn, you've got to make sure he has got plenty of space around him, but he didn't. Sharon Makers and Ruffhead intercepted goal.
Boyd spending some time on the ball now. McAvoy knocked it away. Lewis did well. Mitchell often does that, makes himself invisible, just stands there. Hand pass from Lewis. McAvoy gets the arms free, had it a long time. Swarming Dogs again. Opportunity forward for Dalhouse. Slips a hand pass away to Daniel. Daniel kicks inside the forward 50. Good that it went there because they didn't have much down the middle. Coming through his stringer. Tries to give it across to a teammate, Liberatore. Likes it tough. Bontempelli likes it left. He snaps and puts through another one. On the self-belief meter, it's starting to peak.
Yes, now we've got a game. That tackle in the middle, they just didn't allow the ball out, kept the pressure on the Hawthorn ball carrier. And then when the ball went into their forward 50, the same. They just get the tackle in the ground level. And Bontempelli had half a chance. And that time, the Bulldogs nailed the half chance. This is just perseverance in your forward 50. Keep the ball alive. Eventually, the player gets it with a chance, and Bontempelli was good enough under pressure, screwed across the right shoulder.
So after the first 5 to Hawthorn, the last 3 to the Bulldogs, McLean, Ruffhead and Bontempelli, all in pretty quick time. Boyd, Lin Jong, little give, Murphy onto the left boot. Chances now for the Dogs coming up. Big margin after the Rioli goal was 32, has been whittled down to just 14 with the brilliance of Bontempelli. And Nick Maxwell, it seems as though the crowd has come to life.
They are. Bulldogs crowd, Hammer starting to get behind them. It's actually on the back of their handballs. They've had more handballs than they have kicks, and that means they're forced to play on, forced to take risks and get in behind the Hawks defenders.
Terrific from Caleb Daniel. Didn't get into the back of Mitchell, rolled him in the tackle and held him up.
Outstanding, and got the arm around the front so he couldn't fire a hand pass out. That is brilliant. Close in, absolutely brilliant. That man is so dangerous, Sam Mitchell. He might be the best player in the competition. Here comes inside the forward 50. Opportunity for Stratton. Hawthorn. Now it's Gibson. Leisurely kick to the pocket. Gunston. He senses his moments, Gunston, and he feels the pressure's on. He's gone back, and you see him deep in defence just to help out. Well, the kick doesn't help much. It's gone out of bounds on the full. So the Dogs win it back. The next goal is big in this contest. Hamling, the replacement for Easton Wood. The Hawks deep. Got the numbers there. One extra. There goes the kick in that direction. From behind, Ruffhead. Falls in front, Stringer. Spills across to Birchall. Well played. Smith with the outside of the boot. Getting in front, Hamling again.
To concede ground, Hamling. Boyd called to play on. Sean Makers just shuffles, corrals, gets a little bit of help Boyd in the end. Back from Hamling, and then a high up and under. Only one man was ever going to take that mark, and it was Billy Hawthorn.
It was a good structural defence by Hawthorn. They just didn't have anywhere to go, Bulldogs.
Sean Makers sets himself, knocks it down. Saw Langford was there. Bruce ran over the football, so too did Murphy. He looks a tired man. It's been a fast and furious opening first term and almost 2. Boyd has looked good in the air, unable yet to really impose himself, but he is starting to come of age. Knocked it down, then the tackle on Lewis, dislodged the football. Hawthorn in the tackle, got it to Birchall. No player has much time. They get the football, they've got to think quickly, execute well, but it comes back quickly from the other way.
Graham Birchall takes a break. This defence now is under pressure. But the Dogs need the next goal. Well done, Segler. Stolen by Liberatore. Got boot to ball. Bit lucky there. Fell in front of him. Stratton, very as if he were walking a tightrope. Very, very careful. Wallace, well, he was carried forward. Jarred out of there. Umpire says play on. Burgoyne applied the tackle. O'Rourke with the kick. Morris thumps it back. Coming through strongly, Mitchell. That was wonderful to Puopolo. Now it's with Shields. Tried to be too clever and get it back into the path of Mitchell. Chopped off by Adams, taken by Stevens. Gives it to Hunter. Hunter measures the kick. Hand pass comes across from Biggs. The run from Murphy. Little U-turn, comes back. Needs a man to help out here. Well, 1 metre to block. The ball is close to the boundary. They've got 3 on 2. Liberatore did well to McRae, to Morris. Dunamore top forward. Dalhouse.
What a terrific grab, and how brilliant in front of us on the broadcast side. Ball was there to be knocked over. The Dogs wanted to keep it in. They did, and suddenly at half forward they worked the ball. A couple of kicks from goal. Caleb Daniel spots the man on in the middle. Terrific kick over the top to Marcus Adams. So brilliant in the tackle moments ago. Murphy stood up in the tackle there, got it back to Adams. Long ball, top of the square. Who can fire from a Bulldogs perspective? Well done, Segler. Got a fist onto the ball and sends it over the boundary line.
Their zone defence has been fantastic, Hawthorn. They've forced the Bulldogs to kick it in there long and high, and they've been pretty good in that aerial contest, the Hawthorn big defenders. The Bulldogs just can't find that precise little kicks to set up the set shot.
The tide has turned a little over. The last 7 inside 50s to the Bulldogs. Last 3 goals to the Bulldogs. Picken back to Wallace, back to Picken. Pulls the kick inside. Well, if it was intended for Biggs, it was brilliant. Either way, it was selfless. And suddenly the Dogs can have a look at 4 in a row and bring the margin back to just 8 points. It has been as big as 32.
Yeah, that forward defensive pressure by the Bulldogs in this last 10 minutes has been outstanding. They've kept the ball in there and they've played forward half footy, and that's just a random kick, really. I think Stringer might have been the target. He was moving in, but Biggs was the one who drifted in and took the mark.
Hasn't kicked a goal this year for the Dogs. Has now. Dogs have 4 in a row. Well, this is a side who believes in themselves. We were starting to doubt how they were playing in the first quarter. Perhaps we don't know enough about this young group. They will not lie down. The last 4 after Rioli kicked his second. McLean, Roughhead, Bontempelli, and now Biggs. It all happens. It's the 16-minute mark of this term. So 4 in 8 minutes.
Kicking goals, partly off the back of this, that they had kept Hawthorn to 5 goals. That was the good part. Even though they hadn't scored a goal themselves until halfway through the second quarter, they hadn't let the scoreboard run away too much from the Hawthorn point of view.
Even last week, they let the Eagles stick around the Hawks for a while, didn't they? They didn't burn them off. Shields looking for a free kick. Pickens sockers off the ground. Liberatore charges at it. Had it, lost it, goes after it again. Oh, good hand pass, Boyd. Dalhouse, too much time that time. He was surprised by it. Frawley is going back, indecision. Bounces for Daniel. Daniel back to goal, comes to Boyd. Wouldn't have gone there. Boyd is dragged down, tries to feed it out. And the call was a throw by Boyd. Slow-moving man. Shouldn't have got that hand pass.
I thought Caleb Daniel might have been able to snap it over the right shoulder. He's got the low centre of gravity. He's got good movement, but...
So the last 4 to the Western Bulldogs. Big fly. Adams came in from the side. Hamling was in the middle of all that. Lewis hard pressed against the boundary line. Just a kick in hope. Suckling, a former teammate, will go back and get the football. McAvoy will close down in on him. Suckling's kick into the middle. Well, it's brilliant. He could put the ball through the open window of a passing train. Rarely misses his target. He had very little to look at and found Caleb Daniel. Hit him on the chest. Dalhouse over the top. This is dangerous. Murphy somehow got away from Sicily. Didn't find his target by hand. Hunter was who he wanted. Slap from Puopolo. Brilliant. Dalhouse on the up. Murphy, a little jig. Now to Biggs. Lowers his eyes. Well done, Bulldogs. Chance for Ling Jong.
Been able to match Hawthorn in their quickness around the footy. Now, the quickness is not only leg speed, it's just the ability to actually play quick, think quick, and the pressure that the Hawthorn team imposed on the Bulldogs for most of that first quarter and a bit. Now the Bulldogs are returning the compliment, and Hawthorn is starting to just look a little fumbly, turning the ball over.
5 handballs for the afternoon for Ling Jong. Hasn't had a kick of the football. Margin now back to 7 points after being as high as 32. We'll speak with Brett Montgomery from the Bulldogs at the end of this term. Birchall, well, That was a fine run thing. Lewis, tough man, made it all okay.
There's Smith in the back pocket to Birchall. Two left footers and a bit of trouble out there. Both trying to realign themselves. Bontempelli does okay. Daniel, how did he do that? Sleight of hand. He hooks it around the corner. And Hunter running back with the flight of it has taken the mark about 25 metres out. What a surge.
Caleb Daniel again, he's been really, really lively in there. He's the one who laid the tackle. And then he got the ball back and was able to set up Lockie Hunter. So the speed of movement of the Bulldogs team that just was lacking a little bit early is now on full display.
Some sort of a fight back. Very proud group by the looks of it. You wouldn't be proud of that kick. Back to the left-hand side. Hunter misses. He rues it. 6 points the difference.
Ball on the ground. Birchall gets rid of that. Hawthorn. Deep in defence for Hawthorn.
Move it on, please, Bill.
So as we close in on half-time, just a straight kick the difference, just as we hoped it would be. Fast and furious in this young Western Bulldogs outfit. And after starting slowly, has worked themselves back into the game. Clock against them at the moment. Bouncing ball, only Hawthorn can score from here. And knowing Hawthorn, they may just do that. Shields off the side. That is all she'll write. What a cracking opening half. Disappointing kick from Lockie Hunter and Lin Jong to finish it, but a big lead is now hardly a lead at all. 5-5 to 4-5. Let's go down to Maxwell. He's with Brett Montgomery.
Well, Brett, you really worked yourself back into that second quarter.
Yeah, we did. We knew we'd get our turn at some point if we worked hard enough, and we challenged their defence, which we came to the game to do.
And it was a clearance. I thought it was 10-4 in that second quarter. So did you change anything at quarter time?
We made a couple of tweaks. We certainly didn't get too man-on-man focused, but we did our thing, and it's got us back. We got some momentum up, and we kicked some vital goals, which we didn't do early.
Good luck in the second half, mate. All the best.
So fast track, fast football, the team that's on top of the mountain against the side who is climbing with purpose. 5-5, 4-5. Hawks by 6 points at half-time.
Start of the second half. Good bounce. Roughhead comes strongly. Spills wide. Mitchell gets a hand pass to Bruce towards half forward. Bounces right on the 50. That was interesting by Biggs.
It looked like a throw, didn't it?
He almost took possession, didn't he? It's with Dalhouse again, so he continues on. Stevens gets it wide. Off balance is Hunter. Surprised by the time he had. I suppose in some respects that's a good sign. The kick comes in long. Off the ground by Stringer close to the boundary line. Keeps it alive. Misses everything, and that's not a bad result because they get a stoppage and they keep possession deep in their attack.
What did you think when you saw the Shane Biggs sort of
I thought
spike?
that was most definitely a throw, like a push throw, not a hit ball. The umpire let it go.
Here's a chance for Caleb Daniel to find a blue jumper. Dalhouse, normally industrious around this area and under pressure. Puts it to half forward. Boyd just got a hand on Schoenmakers. Kept the ball around the place. Did a good job, the old dog.
Let's have a look at this. That is definitely a throw. The umpire missed it. Umpiring error.
I think next to the definition of throw in the dictionary, they should just have a link to that.
They've moved Biggs back to the back pocket at the moment. He's on Rioli. Johannesson's gone up onto the wing.
Well, Stringer this time doing the ruck work. Knocked it again in the Hunter direction. Shields, Birchall fires the handball. Also quick Hawthorn. Really hard tongue. Back to Gibson. Clever kick to Smith. To a runner. Outer side. Hard tongue. Ball skips away. Too quick even for that man.
The crowd won't deliver it. No boundary is safe anymore.
If that was deliberate, then you cannot kick or hand pass it out at all, I think we could say. So umpire, as he should have, that's not the rule at this point in time anyway.
Roughhead and McAvoy. Roughhead against Dalhouse. Shields plays on quickly. Smith, haven't seen a lot of him. Driving kick inside the forward 50. Segler! Just got too much space in that pack. He was able to leap, needed a body right up against him. Watch it again.
Just like McAvoy a little earlier. Just the ruckman, they got the height advantage clearly on all the Bulldogs defenders, but it's rarely that the ruck size, a 200 centimetre guy can reach at his full height. So maybe 2 goals from their ruckman forward. That's a good return.
Jonathan Segler stretched the margin, and he's missed. Hawthorn wearing black armbands today in memory of St. Fitzpatrick's granddad.
So Marcus Adams in just game 3. Onus on him to find the Bulldogs teammate. Thumps it into the middle of the ground. You saw the big fly from Boyd. Clever hands to Dalhouse. Puts it in front of the running bigs. Falls to Hunter. Works his way back behind Birchall inside the ground to half forward. No one at home but Stratton. He and Litherland, they talked about it. Rock, paper, scissors ended up with Stratton. Well, almost for Johannisen. Burgoyne. Hartung. Johannisson's got Burgoyne now. Here go the Dogs through the skipper, Bob Murphy. Low ball. It's going to work out. It'll be a bouncing ball for Kobe Stevens. Well, is that deliberate? No. I think we all knew the intention. People are getting edgy, including the commentators.
Well, it was certainly as much as Suckling was, put it that way. If Suckling was a free kick, so was that one.
McAvoy in front cleverly, backhands it down, bounced away from Lewis, taken by Stevens, smothered off the boot by Langford. Dalhouse in the thick of the action is getting a free kick. Gee, he started well in this term. He's been everywhere. I'd say about half a dozen possessions. I'll just check with our statistician. I reckon that's close.
Yeah, 3 of their smaller forwards, Dalhouse, Daniel, and I reckon Picken. They were the ones who just started to lock the ball into their forward 50, get the ball themselves after a while, but they're the kind of ferrets, the Bulldog ferrets, and they've done really well to help bring their team back into the game.
Now Dave wants to split hairs. He said 5, but this will be 6. Cutting me no slack. Dalhouse. This place will go crazy. Dalhouse puts it through. What a star he's become. Luke Dalhouse now has 22 possessions. He's on fire to start this quarter.
It's interesting, the Bulldogs team, they've only got 2 really tall players, which is Roughhead and Boyd. The other 20 players are kind of, you know, medium talls, but not the extreme talls. No wonder they're quick. They haven't got a whole lot of extreme height in their team. Got the free, got the chance, nailed it.
He's like a fox terrier crossed with a KGB senior manager. Just interrogates and applies pressure and continues to yap. And he's got a bootload of talent. So all that wrapped up makes a really enjoyable package to watch, regardless of who you barrack for. Langford, Puopolo coming through Shields. Well, a long wait in the end for Sicily. So too Segler. Well done Hamling. Lin Jong, quick hands. Kobe Stevens, little sidestep. Pretty good stuff from Suckling. Got the boot to ball and found a man. All in a pretty slick sort of a move. Marcus Adams. Well, this is almost going to come unstuck. Went between Murphy and Smith. Over the top. Thought a man was there wearing brown and gold. Wasn't. It was Morris. Murphy doesn't get flustered. Waits for the right option. And that option is Suckling.
That was less than convincing. Suckling out of that back pocket then. Bombs one to the wing. Out of bounds off hand. So a throw in close to the interchange gates. Early going in this 3rd term. Point the difference. Living up to expectations so far. Roughhead's been good, so too McAvoy. Decisively by McAvoy that time. McRae over the footy. Jean falling to the ground. Stevens in trouble. Fall out of his hands. Sicily's got it. Heard the voice. Goes to Langford. Puopolo was quick. O'Rourke hard against the boundary line. What a wonderful kick. He assessed it perfectly. Bypassed a couple of teammates en route and lurking behind Jack Gunston.
He's always looking to the centre corridor. O'Rourke did, and there was a Hawthorn player drifting. He just about got his hand on it, Morris, but nice use, great setup. They have a great ability to find each other in the forward 50 Hawthorn time after time.
Jack Gunston, 20 metres out. He's got one so far. But he kicks truly. They needed that one. So the champs land the punch.
They've done that for most of the day. Hawthorn been able to pin the Bulldogs defenders in. They went from one pocket to the other pocket to try and bring the ball up and drew a boundary throw in 60 metres out. But they've been really good, Hawthorn, and not allowing the run out of the back line, which has become a hallmark of the Bulldogs play. Keep the ball alive. You can see the view that he had. Just Gunston was able to drift in, always finds a way of getting on the end of those kicks, those precise kicks into the forward 50. Gunston, and he rarely misses.
So the previous 5 goals to the Western Bulldogs, and from 10 inside 50s, Hawthorn prior to that goal had managed just 2 behind. So the Bulldogs standing up to this Hawthorn barrage pretty well. Dalhouse went searching for Stringer, didn't quite get there the first time. Bulldozes his way through. Oh, Wallace, second chance for Stringer. The give, brilliant. Caleb Daniel, McRae.
Simultaneous whistle in the back here. Free kick, Western Bulldogs.
Simultaneous whistle, that means he didn't play the advantage.
Umpiring double speak there.
Why were you playing?
He actually tackled. Time back on. Hey, can we just go and meet him, matey? Thank you very much.
The free kick's not so much the issue, but why was it not advantage? It seemed like in the flow of play.
The result's the same.
No different.
Back to 1 point.
I think Ray favoured the little man.
Like to see Caleb Daniel and Razor Ray back to back.
It's actually, we know Hawthorn's forward line is so good with the defensive pressure, Propolo and Rioli, just to ferret the ball to make it hard for defenders to get out has been so good. And I reckon Daniel and Dalhouse and Picken down there have been doing that role extremely well today for the Bulldogs. Let's have a look at this. It was a bump after the handball. I mean, a clear free kick, but the goal had already been scored.
So a point the difference again. Boyd charges in. McAvoy won it marginally. Stevens has been good. Boyd with the left foot floats it down towards half forward. Thumped away by Gibson. Ball runs free. Mitchell hasn't seen a lot of it so far in this term. Battling with Biggs. Biggs caught one high there. Pickens hand pass. This will take some courage. Stevens took them on, and a couple were waiting for him.
Let it go, let it go.
Gee, that's well done by Stevens, though. He had to just accelerate into the contact, and he did. All he could do really is draw the free kick or draw the ball up. Did it really well.
Sam Mitchell like a fire hydrant coming the other way. McRae's in there. Clattering in Bontempelli. Picken did well. Knew where the help was. Daniel goes forward. Biggs outside of the boot. Setting himself down there. Wallace. Ball spills free. McRae instinctive over the top. McLean needs to finish. Well, he chose the third of a couple of options, although it still could work out. Suckling, he knew where it was going. Suckling was the insurance. He's got his first.
It'd be nice to kick one against the Old Firm, wouldn't it? Under pressure and to get him in front.
That's a hard shot at goal for most players, but not Suckling. He kicks the ball at right angles beautifully. No one could teach a player to kick the ball the way Suckling does. He faces one way and kicks it over his left foot over his right shoulder, but therefore when he has to kick it across his body, he does it beautifully. Not sure what Bulldogs were doing there, but as soon as Suckling got the ball left foot inside, shelling peas for him that particular shot. He's been good, Suckling. He's a good player at Hawthorn, and he's given Bulldogs just as good a service. He's been outstanding today.
2 premierships with the Hawks, now trying to win a third in a different jumper against the Old Firm. Puts the Dogs in front. Liberatore under immense pressure. Back in the McLean direction. Riverland, who's served a long apprenticeship at Hawthorn, getting game time and doing a good job. 2 men in the hot seat, Beveridge and Clarkson. Well done, Kobe Stevens. Knocked down to McRae. Kick smothered. Rioli, brilliant. About 4 times on the one play. Never took control of the ball. Smith, Puopolo, Smith. Good luck, catching this man. Bounce, bounce, bouncing inside. Now to Bruce. Normally brilliant as a finisher. No exception. Hawks back in front.
It's one of the few times either side has been able to keep possession and run the ball through the centre square and broke open the opposition zone defence, and the Bulldogs almost pinched it back a couple of times. But Hawthorn, mainly through Isaac Smith's run, no one could quite catch him from behind.
That's in, guys. Go back.
Lovely goal. This is the Bulldogs almost got it back a couple of times, but when Isaac Smith had the ball and poor old Matty Boyd had to try and pick him up, he was never going to do that, and Bruce backed him up. Neither side been able to run through the centre corridor so very much today like Hawthorn did then.
Hawks by a point then. It's a free kick.
Holding Bulldogs. Bontempelli now.
Bontempelli will get it. Darnell's appealing for it, but Bontempelli plays on. Murphy demanding the footy. Storms down towards half forward. Long kick. Rough head from behind. Hands to it. Arriving first is Hunter. Brilliant tackle. Got him down. Birchall will have a ball up. The umpire with a quick whistle.
The kick hasn't worked for the Bulldogs all day. The long high kick into their forward 50 at the moment. The Hawthorn defenders keep getting it.
Well done, Bontempelli. And pass came from McRae. Pickens' kick is marked by Duray.
Quickly moves the ball on Bruce. Well, he had to wait a long time. Murphy got there. Ball settles for him. Top of the square again. The big men set themselves. Boyd and Roughhead. Lewis slaps the ball away from danger. Well, it might be coming back through Stevens. No, back to Hamling. Little one. The Biggs from 60. Again to the hot spot. Boyd flies again. Out the back it falls. McLean, quick enough. Dogs back in front. Last 3 goals, 3 lead changes. Suckling, Bruce to McLean. What was pretty tight for goals early on, just 2 in the first term, has become more freewheeling. 15 now, and 3 in 4 minutes.
Love this launch of the ball by Tom Boyd. Clearly you want your force to mark it if you can, but if you can't mark it, make sure there's no chance the opposition defender's going to mark it, and that creates the ground level ball. And McLean was the one just waiting at the back.
Spirited game of football now. 5 points the margin. Dogs on top. Bounce favours Roughhead. Over the top, Segler. Liberatore. He's been handy and close. Got a hand pass away. Wallace goes off the ground. Childhood mates. Duray gets back. Gibson under pressure. Good kick. Kept it low. Rioli has it. He's on the wing. Segler's in the middle. Mitchell's got it now. Segler drifting back towards half forward. Mitchell won't use him. Looks to the outer side. Rioli. Meters in the clear. Long kick. They'll compete about 40 metres out from goal. Roughhead goes back, got a fist on it, needs it to go out. Bruce accelerates through the curve, taken by Puopolo, and Puopolo is rushed across the line by Adams.
And he stayed low, Adams too. Puopolo can often draw the high tackle there, but Adams got his shoulder in low.
Rugby union background, so tackling he's very au fait with. 22-year-old ready-made, involved in that. Hamling went up, couldn't quite control it. O'Rourke. I think Adams just handballed it out. Bruce was just lining up a goal, and McLean put the tackle on it just the right moment. Biggs very quickly. McLean, Jong, well done, Dogs, out of trouble. Well, might stay out of trouble. McRae, Caleb Daniel, handball. Boyd back to Daniel or nothing else, doing so. Foot race is on. Bontempelli, Birchall. Benefit by the bounce. Would have been a daunting prospect having Bontempelli running you down. 2 good footballers. Birchall with the experience, the kind bounce. Works the ball around the corner. Now he goes to fullback.
Litherland to Smith. And talking about the bomb in recent weeks, Lee, that was a perfect opportunity for it.
Yeah, the kick wasn't terribly good.
Neither was that one. Cracks beginning to show.
Yeah, the fatigue starts to set in a little as well as you get into towards the end of the third quarter. So the fatigue affects the mind as well as the body.
Real wake-up call for Hawthorn. Of course, if they lose this, they're 1 and 2. Kick comes from Stringer. Central situation which exposes the middle. They need to be careful here. Hawthorn, well played though. Hamling won a hard ball against 2. Slips a hand pass away, Johannesson. He's quick, Johannesson. Lowers the eyes, goes looking for a man that was low. He travels that way. Life is like that. Daniel's taken the mark. Right on the 50. He can really play football, this kid.
Can he kick the ball 55 metres? He's certainly got good skills, and he's
just setting it up. Leisurely kick to the kickoff line. Segler, intent on destruction, got a first on it. Rolls towards the pocket. Hawthorn picks it up. He's picked up in turn. And we'll have a ball up. I was talking to one of the Western Bulldog officials today, talking about the first meeting that Luke Beveridge had with the club, and they were talking about respective draftees. And he said if this guy was much taller, when would he go? They said top 10, and Wallace. Wonderful stuff out of the pocket. They're inspired.
Well, to your point, Dan, on Caleb Daniel, he was the #1 ranked player at the under-18 championships, but he still dropped to 46 in the draft. But scouts don't like small players, but sometimes, and Boomer's proven that for 21 years, good things can come in small packages, and Caleb Daniel is one of those. Beautifully finished by Wallace.
Here's another really good clearance. Wallace kicks a goal. It's becoming a real problem for Hawthorn at the moment. 7 goals out of the Bulldogs, 9 goals have come from stoppages. Only 2 goals out of the Hawthorn 7 goals. So they've really got to fix something up around there at the moment.
And the Bulldogs have kicked 7 of the last 9. How do the Hawks, how do the champs answer from here? Langford head over the football. Birchall took on Stringer, gave it off to Johannesson. He in turn gives it to Stevens.
High 50's a second whistle roll.
So it's a Bulldogs free kick after all that. I wasn't sure whether it was a Hawthorn free kick or the Bulldogs.
There was a throw call, boys, and they didn't pay the advantage.
We're listening for the umpires, and suddenly the umpires went silent. The whistles started to ping around like you're in a London nightclub late. The players didn't hear them. Meanwhile, the Dogs have kicked 4 of the last 5, 7 of the last 9, and in great shape. Gibson doing what he does, fisting the ball away. Last line of defence. Isaac Smith put Shields under pressure. Wallace tackled, brought him to ground.
12 of the last 13 clearances to the Dogs. Story starting to unfold. Segler, third man up though. Jong taken by Langford, wide of the pack. Litherland, sense of humour, knocked it back in. Johannesson to Boyd. Liberatore so good in there. Stevens got the arms free. Bontempelli, Biggs in space. He's kicked one already. He's got a second. Well, try putting the lid on this now, Hawthorn. There was an uprising at Etihad Stadium.
It's been a mighty last 30 minutes. You take a quarter and a bit to cook your first goal. They eventually got that first goal, and then it was goal for a while. But just at this point of the game, they're the side with the life and the energy, and they keep coming up with the contested ball and got players on the outside of use. It's nice. There's that many players in the vicinity, but just the one little give. Biggs was the player with a couple of steps. The Bulldogs are really playing strong now.
So a 32-point deficit is now a 17-point lead. And I said 7 of the last 9 goals. It's now 10 of the last 12 to the Western Bulldogs, and they're playing inspired football.
And the Hawks standing skipper Jordan Lewis, yes, to touch the ball this quarter.
And a big hats off to Simon Dalrymple, who is the recruiting manager at the Western Bulldogs. These young Bulldogs that he has brought to the club, full of belief. Dalhouse, one of those. He's picked with high picks and low picks and hasn't missed since 2010. Murphy, back it goes. Lewis Nothing really doing forward of the ball. Lots of blue jumpers about the place. The speed of Bruce. Howell Boyd, the old dog, handle it. Puopolo has support from Gunston. And a chance 15 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Dogs by 17. Trailed by 32. Have kicked 10 of the last 12. McAvoy knocks it down. Marcus Adams beaten to the ball by Dalhouse. O'Rourke got hold of the football. Back to Hartung. Now to Shields. Missed his target. O'Rourke watches on. Ball delivered in the hands of Wallace.
No one forward of Wallace, so he has to go sideways just to maintain possession.
Goes out to Hunter. That was a great kick coming out from Stringer. Found Wallace. McLean's been very handy in this term. He's prepared to run. Seems to have very good endurance. Comes back inside to Hunter, so they dictate the terms and take the sting out of the game. Adams to Boyd and Hamlin. He's been okay back there. Easton Wood, late withdrawal. Matthew Boyd to Johannesson inside the centre square. Oh, missed by Liberatore. His first blemish of the afternoon. It could be costly. Hartung wasn't expecting that. Storms forward, kicks it deep into attack. 2-on-1 down there. The one's got the footy, but they've got him. Bruce tries to feed it out. Arriving quickly, Hartung. What wonderful follow-up by Hartung. He sprinted after kicking that one and deserved a goal. He hit the post.
Lee, one of the great measurements, contested football, 47-17 Bulldogs way in this term.
Yeah, they keep coming up with it and haven't been able to get their running game going. This has really just been a hard work ethic, ferret the ball out type game the Bulldogs have played in this last 30 minutes. Murphy
sends the ball long. Boyd amongst a series of handballs. Litherland on the end of a quick kick. A lot of football left before three-quarter time for the Bulldogs. 16-point leaders. Gibson, Stratton, to Rioli. Two exciting players, Caleb Daniel and Rioli. Daniel lost his feet. Rioli.
Now they're on.
That was uncharacteristic. Now to Stringer. Stringer, Rioli. Stringer. He can use Caleb Daniel. He's got a few on. A couple running over the top. The bouncing ball crucial here. Can you believe that amounts to just a single point?
That is amazing. It was like Stringer's first touch of the game when there was a goal to be bought, but he actually messed it up. He hasn't had a good day, Stringer. He's one that hasn't joined the party today.
Well, he hit the post too. I don't think anyone touched it before it hit the post. So you had three chances, three horses in a three-horse race, and you lost. Ball comes to the wing. Boyd goes up. Stevens got the crump. Boyd back to Stevens. Stevens has been very good. Below. One wonders about this manoeuvre. Gets it across to Adams. Adams in trouble. That's holding the football surely. Play goes on. Langford runs into a dead end. Boyd took him down. Back comes Adams. Gunston's got him. And it's going to be a free kick to Adams.
Found their way out of that. They looked like they were about to give the ball back to Hawthorn, but Adams got in again. Ferret into several. I've almost messed it up. I've got to make sure one mistake doesn't become two.
Hawks a bit unlucky there. They didn't get a free. Matthew Boyd been very handy in the last few minutes. To Murphy. Up on his toes in the defensive goal square. Searing kick to the outer side. Got there quickly. And he leaves quickly to Daniel. Gave it to McRae. Lobs it over the top. Liberatore liked his game. Back to McRae, a left footer. Over the top, he goes to Wallace. Listen to those names. Long ball downwards, fall forward. You'll know them pretty soon if you don't know them now. Stratton goes up and knocks it across from behind.
To behind. I just want to see if it flipped the post. Sure. Score review. Umpire's call. Is it behind? Hit the post. Just check it hasn't gone out of bounds.
Review underway.
Well, I think, in that vision.
Review completed. The ball is out of bounds. It's hit the post.
Throw it in. Just wait. Okay, go. Yeah.
Been dangerous here. Lin Jong has been jumping third up. He's not there for this one.
McAvoy front spot. Chance for a couple of blue jumpers to roll onto this. Kobe Stevens, Johannesson licking their lips. Hartung did well. Well, maybe not so. Umpire's call.
He kicked it towards the boundary. That's sufficient.
Quickly on to Lockie Hunter. And he missed an easy one. Early going. What can he do here? Fabulous last week. 35 and a goal. Signed a contract to extend his tenure at the kennel during the week. This to punch it out to 23 points. On the right side for him. Well, he pushed the first to the left, the southern end, but then he had this. He hooks. 3-goal ball game.
Hunter's been handy, 16 possessions. Birchall to bring it in. Hawthorn under pressure. Birchall short to the pocket and Frawley. Under 4 minutes to three-quarter time. The Hawks with a lot of work to do. Plays on. High one up towards the wing. Boyd intent on blocking McAvoy, who did well. Flicked out of there by Shields. Taken high. It'll be a free kick to Sicily. So Sicily on the wing. Nothing much down towards half forward if he goes down the line. He does that. Nevertheless, demanding a lot of Schoenmakers. Schoenmakers was written out of the contest. And as a result, he's going to get the free kick. Plays on quickly. Look at the middle open up. Lewis, Birchall, Stratton, wider still. Mitchell, it's in good hands. Mitchell looks inside the forward 50, just lobs it down towards the pocket. Suckling came to the pack, wasn't required. Knocked away by Biggs, taken by Hunter. Good hand pass. Releases Wallace, uses all his time, and then goes to Daniel. Daniel's been very, very good.
Mitchell and Lewis combined in that passage of play. Before they both got a touch, then just 3 touches between them for the term. So 2 of their key playmakers having a quieter half hour.
They might get out this time, the Bulldogs. They haven't really been able to change direction and actually get out. Hawthorn have really covered it beautifully.
Adams, Hamling, Stevens, now Biggs. Well, McLean just muscled out of the way by a stronger body in Burgoyne. Quickly the Hawks move through the middle. It's a 3-goal ball game. 2 minutes before the final change. Hawthorn will be believing that this game is absolutely up for grabs. And the Bulldogs would be thinking the same. Hawthorn, like one of those bad guys, you need to shoot about 30 times before you're sure they're dead. Great at scoring quickly. Bulldogs have had a big couple of terms, but Hawthorn well within reach. Murphy fresh off the bench. Big contest, gets on the end of this. Here goes Murphy. What does he choose to do? Long ball. Stringer's got to wait. Gibson needs to defend. Stringer knocks it to ground. Keeps his feet off the ground. No, Gibson was there.
He hasn't been able to take him today, Stringer. Stratton has actually been good on him, and that time he had the matchup. Stratton wasn't there, but he just wasn't able to grab it. Looked like he was going to, but today hasn't been his day at this point.
It's a great kick by Murphy to the advantage of Stringer, wasn't it? In that pack, Daniel still battling. Langford, hard hombre. Brilliant smother there by Hunter, who threw himself across the bit of Shields, and now Daniel snaps and misses. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Stringer's the type of player you take to a three-quarter time. The first 3 quarters haven't been yours, but we've still got a quarter to go and still capable of actually kicking the goal or 2 that can nail the game for the Bulldogs.
Big goal, the next one. 25-point margin or 13. Long ball to half-back from the Hawthorn perspective, but the Dogs have got hold of the football. Biggs, back it goes. Roughhead's got to be quick. Hamling can choose Adams, just defensive side of the circles. His kick off the side of the boot.
Back into the middle.
Wallace is in the middle of the ground. He's ignored. Happy perhaps just to shore things up before three-quarter time. Still 40 seconds left. Boyd, well, he's got Johannesson on short. Movement at half forward. Bontempelli puts his arm in the air, demands the football, but when the skipper calls, best go to him. Hard to think of a more popular player than this man right now. The only man more popular at home is Elsa in our house. Murphy leading a side that a lot of people like to cheer for.
McRae to Biggs. They're content to run the clock down here. 9 seconds remaining. This has been something. They're controlling the game now. They're running the Hawks ragged. There's going to be a free kick, is there? No. Crowd thought there should have been. So did Morris, but they'll have a boundary throw in. The siren will sound as soon as it's in the air. So no chance of another score, but Hawthorn with their backs to the wall. The young Bulldogs may be surprising themselves. The football world has been warned. Here come the Dogs. Can they sustain it for another half hour on Sunday football?
What happened in the rooms, Richie?
They're all there, Dipper and Dermy, and they're all sort of going around the rooms, and you could just feel it. That something wasn't normal.
Richie Vandenberg on Open Mic, Tuesday after 3:60, Fox Footy.
Invite all your friends and the people you know, and the stars deep in the universe will put on a show.
Eclipse Chewy Mint?
Thanks.
You look fresher.
Don't be ridiculous.
Eclipse Chewy Mints. How can we bring our farms closer to our markets and our exports closer to our ports? By cutting travelling time and bringing you closer to where you want to be. With wider roads and better bridges, more direct routes and less congestion, it will be simpler and safer to get around. And businesses can grow, so more jobs can be supported. That's why the Australian government is investing billions in over 1,000 road and rail projects all around the country. Visit the website to see the projects happening close to you. Search Building Our Future. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Did you know, if you need tyres, you should call Kmart Tyre and Auto Service last. Why? Because we'll beat any competitor's price on tyres we stock, such as Bridgestone, Goodyear, Dunlop and Kumho. For genuine value, call us on 13 13 28.
At Bupa, we're doing things differently. Like introducing Bupa Plus, an exclusive range of
local store, and McDonald's cheering for footy's little wins.
Final term at Etihad Stadium. 19 points the margin. The young Dogs lead. Roughhead taps it down. Wallace has been very good in the tight situations. Dalhouse falling to ground. Well done by Bruce. Got it out. Smothered off the boot of Mitchell. Liberatore forces it to Wallace. Stolen by Puopolo. McAvoy comes back to Lewis. Whips it across to Smith. Smith a high ball inside the forward 50. Roughhead goes back. Gunston launched himself. A lot of Hawks on the deck. Rioli tried to knock it on. Sicily tried to knock it goalward. He was appealing for a free kick on the ground, and the ball trickles through from behind. They didn't play to the whistle. Now it's grabbed and kicked by Gunston. And we might get a discussion here across the line.
Score review. Umpire's callers are behind. Thank you.
So we're assuming it did cross the line.
Umpire's call is all clear, one behind. Can we please ensure that the ball has crossed the line? Thank you.
Review underway.
Yeah.
It appears to.
His foot's over the line, so you'd think the ball would have to be, don't you?
Yep.
She's close. Yeah, well, that's it. They might have
Review completed. Confirmed behind.
all clear on behind. Thank you. Find where you are.
The snap kick was a behind anyway, wasn't it? I think so. It's going to be behind either way.
Murphy chooses himself, and then a long ball. Is it out of bounds on the full? Hawks can reload. What an anxious time if you're a Western Bulldogs fan. Your side in a wonderful position, but against a side that's got an uncanny ability to get out of these sorts of situations. Birchall takes on Liberatore. Long driving ball. Gunston and Sicily fly. Spot the big man. Ben McAvoy.
That's the third as the been the Hawks' main scoring method, getting with the big forward, the big 200-centimetre ruckman forward. McAvoy, this is his second and probably second goal, and of course Segler grabbed one before.
Gee, that's a great mark.
That's a strong mark. That is a genuine pack mark, isn't it?
Absolute ripper. He kicked the first goal of the afternoon. Hasn't scored a major since. This to bring it back to just 2 goals. McAvoy kicks his second, and the Hawks 8th. So 10 of the previous 12 goals to the Western Bulldogs. Opening goal of the final stanza, the way of the Hawks.
Just such a good mark, Haim. I mean, he's in front, 2 big blokes behind him, both just wanted on the ground, and he still hung on. Gee, that's impressive. Would have drawn it up this way. Hawks get the first goal at the last quarter.
Now the pressure goes back onto the Bulldogs a little bit. The Hawks have now got the little bit of momentum from the goal. The Bulldogs had the lead. It's really this mental battle is just being played out, ebbing and flowing.
Roughhead gently down. Langford overran it.
Fine. Thank you.
Liberatore, the last man up.
Hold the leader, straight back.
Mitchell's also gone a half back on Caleb Daniel at the moment, boys.
Third man up, Smith knocks it down. Burgoyne got the arms free. Shields' kick was smothered. So was Langford's. Liberatore again. He loves that situation. Crashing into him, Burgoyne. And the ball up. Liberatore missed last season. Did his knee in a practice match against the Tigers. Didn't see any action last year. Best and fairest the year before. There he is again, rolling. Gets a hand pass out. Brewster high ball inside the forward 50. Morris goes back. Wonderful concentration. And the veteran couldn't juggle it. He had it long enough. What a player he's been over the journey. Constantly gave away size and body weight over the years. Now it's going to be a free kick out there to his captain, Bob Murphy.
They've been down a long stretch of road together, haven't they?
Yeah.
If ever you want composure through experience is Murphy and Boyd and Morris.
What a great defensive performance it's been so far this afternoon in the absence of Eastonwood. They've contained Hawthorn.
Do not lose it. No. Because you need to come around your mark. Now it's time back on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. Explaining it all very clearly. Dogs by 2 goals. Hawthorn with time and brilliance on their side. Mitchell, 24th disposal. Only Daniel and Dalhouse have had more on the ground. Frawley back to that man who's captain of premiership wearing these colours. Birchall in the spin, lost the football. Isaac Smith hardly had time to get rid of it. Liberatore likewise ends up with Birchall again to half forward. Big fly, show and makers. Here's a man that can solve a problem or two. Cyril! 3 for Cyril. And when he is on the ground, well, just about anything is possible. Back to 1 straight kick.
I've seen a lot of footy where the uncontested possessions, the ball you get on the free flow is actually the thing that's determining the results of most games. This is a contested possession game. And basically just the last couple of times it's been a big pack situation. Hawthorn have come up with the footy. This is the final finish and the ball goes to Rioli and he kicks the goal, but it was really the ball win. A kick ahead in the centre of the ground. Just for the last 2 or 3 times, Hawthorn are coming up with a footy when there's a big melee of players fighting for the ball at the bottom of the pack.
Margin back to 6 points now. Dalhouse, so good today. Outside of the boot, sends it long. Frawley, that was a cool head. Always had it under control. Just let it come to him.
Move it on, play on.
He's had a good game, Frawley. Goes wide. Towards the boundary, Sicily, height advantage. Spring-heel Jack gets up there, takes the mark. Goes to the corridor, Lewis away on his left side. Drives it across the ground, a couple of Hawks here. O'Rourke, Shields, and now McAvoy peeling off and coming hard. Boyd did well, got it on the deck, the best he could hope for. In goes Biggs, Puopolo's got him. Ball jarred loose, Roughhead.
Yeah,
It's going to be a free
the
kick.
ball. Yeah.
Yep. Free kick is coming back to Puopolo. He's at left half forward, 65 metres out.
Hawthorn searching for a major to level this game up. 6-point ball game. Where's McAvoy? Sicily! Well, not paid, yes.
He can jump.
We've seen him the last couple of weeks, and he's got a vertical leap like few other players.
He had the run at the footy, didn't have body control. We'll see. This was definitely a holding the ball or an incorrect disposal, but Sicily had the jump at the pack 15 metres out. Did it beautifully.
Sicily, he's got his first, and the game has no leader. Well, they've been talked about all week as being the one that everyone was looking forward to from a pure football point of view all weekend. 15 minutes to play, 10-8 apiece. 32-point lead, whittled away by the Bulldogs. They got out to a 17 or an 18-point lead at one stage, maybe even 19. Suddenly, it's back to all square.
Here we see Sicily jump at the ball, and he just didn't have an opponent going with him, and the ability, if you can jump third up and your opponent doesn't go with you, whoever that may be at the time, Sicily's strong hands.
Kicked 4 goals last week. This is powerful stuff by the Hawks. Charging back into the contest. Lewis can't get out of that centre circle.
Thank you.
Ball up on the outer ring. Segler locks up with Roughhead. John goes up, third man up. Stevens taken down. Wrenching it away, Langford Shields. Bounces a hand pass to Mitchell. Mitchell to O'Rourke. Giray sent away on his left side to half forward. Gunston the meat in the sandwich. And it bounced off his chest. Puopolo quickly back to him. Gunston evades Hamling. Drives it long down towards full forward. Sicily's the danger again. Oh, Adams. Terrific mark. In an invidious situation in front there. Kept his eye on the footy. Hunter pushed over. They'll get the ball on the outer side. The Dogs at left half back will have possession through McLean. And if they win this, the Dogs, they can look back on that mark. That was central. That was a terrific effort by Adams.
Play on, not 15, play on.
Well, he heard the umpire, McLean's kick, not 15. I heard the umpire again, advantage called, so Stringer. Well, Boyd at full stretch has a huge opportunity. What can the young man produce here? Doesn't want the moment, goes back to Liberatore. He'll be forced to kick again.
You've got a lot of area out with a 10-metre protection area. You've got a chance of coming inside 2 or 3 steps, opening up the angle.
Well, that's huge. Big, big moment. Oh, they went up behind the goals. Umpire shuffled back into the middle. Minor score, only enough to get the Dogs in front. 10 minutes gone, ample remaining.
Here's Lewis. Left half back up to the wing. Bruce found some space on Boyd.
Hold there. Move down, mate. Move down.
Just settles.
Move it on.
I doubt he'll go across the ground. He'll kick it down towards half forward. Need Schoenmakers to commit here. Good mark taken in front. Roughhead liked his game. Took a heavy knock early. Came off the ground, nursing some sore ribs, no doubt. He's come back strongly. Adams takes a risk.
Hold there, please.
Mark is taken by Biggs. And decides to rush away then and go to the other side. Stevens. They've got a man on. That's Daniel. Now he can take it and go. Real deep is Boyd. He needs to come up. He needs to offer Boyd. He's hanging back at the moment. Kick from Daniel to the middle. Dangerous spot. Stolen away. No conviction on the forward line that time. Burgoyne short. Crawley's got it. Runner outside. He's 65 metres out.
Stay behind. Stay behind.
Crawley. Mitchell calling for it. Feigns to hand pass. Play-on's the call. Launches it high. Sicily once more. Needed to get a body on him. Got hands to it. Couldn't take the mark. Biggs, McRae. Gives it across to Hunter. Got a shepherd from Murphy, who then runs on. Being worked on was Biggs. Murphy hesitates. Now he comes back towards the middle and Wallace.
Well, suddenly every possession Desperate stuff. Wallace doesn't have the carry to get to Johannesson. Ball out the back to Duray. Fresh man on the ground, McLean. Bruce gets out of the tackle. Duray gets away from McLean twice. Back onto his left boot. Johannesson tries to corral. Back to Duray. Lunging tackle or smother. Not quite from Morris. But Adams saves the day for the Dogs.
Well, it's a hot footy now. Often you have free-flowing games, and Etihad, the ball goes from end to end, but gee, it's hard to get a kick here. Both sides really strong at the contest, blocking up the change of direction, change of play.
I think they've got a dare down here, boys. What got them back into the game and then in front was actually run and handball across half-back through the middle of the ground. They're a bit too stationary for me at the moment. Just kick, mark, kick, mark.
Dogs by a point, thrown in. Segler marginally. Burgoyne hurriedly. Morris, well done. And in front, McLean takes a tumbling mark, wants to give it off. Dalhouse sprints past, looks down towards the forward 50, and at the back is Boyd. Now he must come back and kick this one. Don't think about giving it off.
Right on it there, Tom.
He knows about huge responsibility.
You're hoping he's got the personality that wants the kick.
Yeah.
Wants to be the match winner. He's got the chance. Not the match winner, clear, long way to go, but the pressure on his back is immense.
Yes. And this one is missing. He knows about pressure, as I mentioned, though, because he's got a hefty contract and so far hasn't played up to the contract. Early days, I know. Bulldogs double their lead.
4-7 from set shots, the Western Bulldogs this afternoon. Hawthorn, conversely, 8-3. Boyd's last two scores are what the Bulldogs lead by. 2 solitary points. Smith at speed to the wing. Morris in the middle, rough head. Segler knocked it down. Had a look at Stratton. Well, you know what Suckling wanted to do. Hasn't been taken over yet.
He thought he was over the line, but the boundary umpire was a long way away, unsighted, so got pinged for holding the ball.
Jordan Lewis just on for Shields. Clapp didn't give too much away. Clapping was heard, and then to half forward it goes for Hawthorn. Handling did enough. The late in for Eastonwood. On screen, 2 old Warriors, 2 old Dogs.
What a terrific game it's been. Both sides having their moments. Right now, it's virtually a deadlock. Dogs lead it by 2. Smith finding a way through. Quick hands. Langford under pressure. Hooks it down towards the pocket. In front down there is Bruce. Had it knocked away. Did it stay in? No, it did not. Boundary throw in. Jordan Lewis, by his lofty standards, a reasonably quiet day today. 18 possessions. Wallace is a lockdown player, and he gets plenty of it too. Segler in front, just lays it at his feet, taken high as McLean. I mentioned it before, he's been handy.
Please, everyone, let's go.
Good work rate.
Okay, thank you, mate.
Back pocket. Now where will he go? He needs to be careful. Coming down the line, taking no risks. No surprise here. Litherland commits and thumps it out of bounds.
Talking about lean footballers before the game, McLean is one of those. Lee?
Yes, he's. I don't know whether he's Robert Murphy. Tell you what, he's attacking the footy though. When he has to go, he's going.
Built like a racing greyhound, but he's full of courage, as you suggest. Terrific from Dalhouse. Stringer, did he keep it in? Umpire says yes. Bontempelli, clean hands, took it low. Boyd, out-muscled initial at least. Now a chance for Jong, no. Football wouldn't allow him to go back and grab possession. Hartung, Litherland. Low ball through the middle. Terrific to McAvoy. Got a runner in O'Rourke. He's chosen now. Lowers the eyes over the top. Awaiting Sicily, almost Gunston. Just contemplates, you can almost see the brain ticking over, and again he chooses a terrific option. Kick was weighted perfectly, had to be spot on, and was.
Old school by Daniel as well. He made him earn it.
Yeah, there's no way he was going to reach the ball. He had didn't have the height to do that, so he crashed into his back, but clearly it was always going to be either a mark.
I'll shake you up though, right?
Only had a split second, but I reckon Gunston contemplated about 6 options.
Yep.
Chose the right one. Segler. He's put Hawthorn back in front. The first time this year any side has kicked 4 goals against the Bulldogs in a quarter. They've been managing to keep their opposition to miserly, lowly totals.
It's lovely usage of that one-step kick that Hawthorn is so good at. The centre-bounce has been a good part of the game for the Bulldogs, but I just think in this last quarter Hawthorn have done well in there. Can't get much more critical than the ones from now on.
So we're back in the middle. 4 points Hawthorn's way. Roughhead on the way down. Mitchell slips it back to Smith. Steps into the kick and drives it down towards half forward. Adams goes after it. Knocked it away from Rioli. Bruce hand passes to McAvoy. Launches this one high. Getting some separation, Segler. Hamling played it okay. Rioli swoops on the ball. Trying to shin it forward. There was Gunston. Hard-tongue tries to jump over a tackle. It was like approaching the water jump in a steeplechase. He goes down. Ball up. Pulsating affair now. They're playing for keeps. The youngsters against the veterans. Litherland tackled. Lewis over the shoulder. Hard-tongue had it stolen by Dalhouse. They're out now. Over the top, McRae. Jong feeds it forward. Boyd joins in. McRae runs on. Wallace, Jong striding around the outer side. Picken kicks inside the forward 50. Stringer gets some separation. Stratton has to come. He thumps it away. In front, Stringer still close to the boundary. Can't keep it in. Boundary throw in.
Another massive one-on-one win by Stratton down there. He's done a great job so far on Stringer.
So many huge moments now to be played out. 8 minutes of football left. 5 lead changes for the afternoon. Hawthorn, the first side that's kicked 4 goals in a quarter against the Bulldogs. Last 4 of this match. Burgoyne, Smith, Mitchell, quickly to the wing. You can hear the screams from the Bulldog fans. What do they decide? Oh.
The rule is that you're actually deliberately putting it out, but I think the rule interpretation is if you don't try and keep it in, you're going to get pinned. There's nothing wrong with that, but I think that's the way it's been umpired.
So.
Adams, long ball. Boyd, not quite. Been a bit sort of like that for Boyd this afternoon. Gibson intercepts. Duray went low, got taken high. Almost dove into his kneecap.
Look at the carnage behind the ball too. A few players slow to get up. There's Stratton, and they will come from the back line. Hawthorn leading by 4 as they work it forward. O'Rourke in the back pocket. Still over 7 minutes to go. Energy sapping stuff. O'Rourke coming up behind their shields, clears the pack and runs out of bounds, so we'll have a throw in. 74 plays 70. Low scoring game, yet thoroughly entertaining. Hawthorn 11 goals. The Bulldogs have 10.
Some tired bodies out on the ground now, just looking as they're setting up, everyone grabbing their shorts, Robert Harvey style, leaning over, just gasping for air.
Yeah, the high-scoring close game might be the perfect one, but when the tension's in the game like it's been today, when it's ebb and flow between the teams, the contest's been outstanding.
Lewis becomes so adept at being the third man and finding one of his players. Burgoyne off the ground. Adams taken big tackle. Gunston was the tackler. Who's first there? Well, everyone, such desire for the football. Murphy had it, lost it from the umpire. Called him to play on. Big tackle from Puopolo. Ball put onto the boot. Quickly, Dalhouse. Well, almost, but not quite.
It was unrealistic, but nobody told him.
Where to look now?
I think the little blokes have realised if you're jumping third up against the 2 big blokes wrestling, you've got a fair chance of bringing it down.
Wherever you look on the ground, there's a story.
McRae timed the release. Bontempelli is through. Long kick, dangerous kick. Stringer in front. Thumped away down there by Stratton. Ball runs free. Well done, Stratton. In goes John. Gets it out to Stringer. Almost ran into his teammate and brushed across the line. We'll have a throw in.
He looks most dangerous, Stringer, on the second effort at ground level. In the air, Stratton has been able to spoil, but his second effort's put him back in the play, but hasn't been able to make anyone count yet.
Boyd from the side, beaten by McAvoy, follows up and snaps a goal. Tom Boyd comes of age. Well, McAvoy was the one who won the tap, but Boyd had the perseverance. Ran onto the ball, no time to think about it. He's missed a couple in this term. Got the footy, snapped the goal, and the Dogs led it by 2. This is an absolute rip snort.
He's a big man, and I think now that they're using him in the ruck, he'll be well. That'll be his best. It's always nice, like Grundy was the ground level crummer, remember, for Collingwood the week last round, so yeah, the big guys can be the crummers as well and the ground level getters.
So 1 goal, 2 for the afternoon for Tom Boyd. That goal gets the Dogs back in front. Lead change number 6 for the afternoon. Liberatore under immense pressure. Mitchell bullets the handball to O'Rourke. Steps back inside, takes the game on. Puopolo, the big fly. Adams out the back. Bruce, can he put him back in front again? Bruce, he's got another. Hawks in front. Just like that. 4-point leaders Hawthorn in front of 46,808. Huge noise, only round 3, but this is brilliant stuff.
And again, it was the little bloke, Puopolo, who decided I'll have a chance of jumping on the pack. The point is someone has to fly for the ball so it doesn't get marked defensively, and the random ground level ball was Bruce's opportunity to goal.
He's just like space junk, isn't he, Paul Puopolo? He just muddies the waters.
Yeah, that the ability to jump on the pack. And the ball came over the back for Bruce to goal.
Hawthorn leaded by 4 then. Just under 6 minutes remaining of playing time. Segler opposed to Boyd on the way down. Boyd clean possession. Wallace has been terrific. Has a couple of goes at it. Boyd slick hands, but clean. Liked him. Kicks inside the forward 50. Stringer is down there. Jong was the leaper. Stringer tracks it back. Throws a boot at it. Couldn't stretch far enough. Minor score. 3 points the difference.
Sometimes games have got so much hype about them and they fail to live up to expectation, but this has been terrific stuff to watch.
Hasn't been the game that we thought the Bulldogs might play, like they might just outrun Hawthorn. They haven't done that, but they've just as well competed with them at this point.
7 lead changes for the afternoon. Cyril amongst the thick of it again. Bruce got them back in front moments ago. Morris, terrific again. Then Langford followed up with a big tackle. Call it a 0-0 draw. Ball just stolen by Burgoyne. And what a cool sense he has under immense pressure. Gunston over the top. Sicily awaits. And Sicily can extend the lead to 9. 3
metres. Oh, sorry, one more. Yep, right there. Don't go forward. Don't go
Cool
forward.
heads of Hawthorn. Put it into the hands of Sicily. And Sicily gets back-to-back goals for the Hawks. Out to 9 points.
Yes, it hasn't been a free-flowing end-to-end footy. It's really a question of who can win that come up with the ball out of the contest. And if you're in the congestion and there's a pack and you can bring the ball out, then you've had a chance to score. And there was a flurry of hands and ball in front of the centre square, but the Bulldogs turned it over, and as soon as that happened, Hawthorn had forwards flowing goal side.
Exciting prospect. James Sicily. What a timely goal it was. Now the Western Bulldogs with some work to do. Desperately needing the next goal. McAvoy hooked it down, Bontempelli over the shoulder. Hunter, clean ball, sends it inside the forward 50. Wallace tries to work in front. Takes a Bulldog bounce. Dalhouse with the outside of the boot, and it's through. Look at the passion.
How good has he been today, Dalhouse? I mean, that was just a goal totally out of nothing. It was a quick kick forward out of the centre bounce, but if you get the ball in quickly, and Hunter was the one who delivered in, the defence is not least set up. It becomes a ground level contest. And that was just a beautiful finish. Outside of the boot. He actually did the inside kick, remember, off the boundary line earlier in the game that found a target, so he's obviously got the ball skills.
30th possession for him.
Second goal. Back to within 3 points again. Dogs on top of the table coming into this round. Hawthorn on top of the AFL mountain. Can the Dogs usurp the champs? McAvoy, rough head. Here goes Picken. Long driving ball. Stringer, Stratton, Stringer. Well, almost. Not quite. Whistle in the background.
Hold, Bulldogs.
Hold. 20 metres out. It's obviously not that one. This must have been well before that particular piece of play.
Was it Stratton alongside Stringer? I think it was Stratton with Stringer.
I think it must have been the contest when the ball came out of the centre bounce. That's where the umpire has played the hold in the marking drill.
So we think paid against Stratton for the hold. Stringer hasn't kicked a goal for the afternoon. 2 minor scores.
More pressure on this than it looks to, because he's had an ordinary day. Stringer, a just about day. This is where you can actually get the lead for your team.
Certainly no gimme. But for lead change number 8, it's home. And the Dogs are back in front.
Like many a coach have said to many a player, that if you're having a frustrating day, if you keep persevering, it might be the last kick of the day, might be the one where you can win. Let's have a look at what's, the hold of the jumper. I think that's what the umpires saw. The two players wrestling is always hard to adjudicate, but if it looks like one player's jumper is being pulled away from his body, and that was what Ray Chamberlain umpire saw then. Boy, we had some change of leads. About 7 of them, 8 of them.
8 for the afternoon.
I've got enough fingers, Hamish, to count.
How much heart have these Bulldogs got?
Dogs lead by 3 points.
Centre bounce.
Looking on.
Centre bounce is critical, Dennis. This is where the game is being won or lost.
Still plenty of time, over 3 minutes. Tapped down by Roughhead. Mitchell at the back of the pack. Tries to wriggle free. Hurried kick, playing in front's this spot. Puopolo. Now Rioli. Dances through the pack. Kick is offline. Sicily goes back. And it's a behind.
Team winning the centre bounces seems to be the teams that are going forward and scoring. So Hawthorn got the centre bounce clear, got the shot at goal, but didn't score the goal.
Mitchell, 30th touch for the 8th week in a row. McAvoy had it knocked away. Second effort was terrific then from Roughhead. Had to get a fist onto it and did. So under 3 minutes to play. Only 4 points up for grabs, but it feels like there's so much more. Will the Dogs go 3-zip? Will Hawthorn be 1 and 2?
With the young Bulldogs midfield, you've got Lewis in there, Mitchell in there. They've been in this situation many times, but it's Wallace, Liberatore, players of that ilk. It's their turn.
Desperate footballers all around the ground, many of them tired. Wallace, offhand, short ball. Here's Bontempelli, didn't hit it where he wanted to, hit it on the wrong side of the ball. Stringer and Stratton. Stratton, did he take him to ground? Umpire said no. Shields got the football, tried to give it to Duray, couldn't find him. Stringer holds it in.
That's a good win for Hawthorn. They're exposed there. The Dogs without their best and fairest this afternoon, but Hamling has done well in defence. Wide of the pack, a chance for Litherland. Under the cosh right now is the Hawthorn defence. Smith kicks it close to the boundary line. It runs out. The expectations are high from the fans. Not forthcoming that time.
Well, that's about the first time I've seen the benefit of the doubt for almost the first 3 rounds.
Boundary throw in just outside the attacking 50 for the Dogs. Roughhead has been tireless this afternoon, so too McAvoy. Daniel has been terrific. Wheels around, fires back towards full forward, setting himself with the land. Two-fister away. It's grabbed by Dalhouse, vacant goal square. Goes wide of the mark and through for a behind.
Hawthorn will be wanting to move it on quickly. They'll want to be trying to go up the middle a little bit to try and they would know there's not long to go. 32 minutes on the clock.
Well, ugly sort of a ball might work out okay for Hawthorn. Well, it's now to be won. McAvoy won the football. Terrific to Burgoyne. Through the middle they come. Loose man is Sicily. He's going to get into the right spot. And Hawthorn just know how to get back in front at the right time. 90 seconds left. Oh, no.
Murphy's done a knee in that twist under the ball.
Right here, guys.
Wonderful by Bruce.
No, something's not right.
15 gone.
When Hawthorn went down the middle, Sicily had actually dropped well forward of the play on the hope that a stray kick would come forward.
And Bruce was the one who kept him out of the contest, wasn't he? It was wonderful work by Bruce.
Yeah.
And they both went at strange angles. Oh, this is terrible.
Well, the face, I think, told a big story.
Just when you thought, hey, they couldn't be losers today, even if they lost the game, the Bulldogs, suddenly this is a big loss.
Sicily, a young man. How does he handle the moment? The answer is perfectly. 3 for Sicily, and what a clutch football side this is.
3 goals straight. Yes, when they scored that behind, this is where Murphy looks like his knees twisted, that left knee's twisted. You're just hoping it's medial and not the cruciate.
To your point, Dennis, even if the Dogs won today, they'd lose now.
Yeah. It's on the debit side. Sicily, 3 goals, 4 last week, an emerging young talent. So, 53 seconds to go. Hawthorn lead by 3 points. The Dogs have excelled inside the centre square. They do it again. Roughhead kicks it down towards half forward. Almost the clever mark, Liberatore. Dalhouse falling to the ground, trying to force it goalward. Litherland stands his ground. He's tackled by 2. Get a ball up about 53 metres out from goal. We're down to 38 seconds.
Hawthorn got the spare play back. Gunston's always the player who'll drop back to be the extra number in there, back 50.
Roughhead over the top. Burgoyne, smothered kick. Bontempelli in the grasp. Here's a chance down for McRae. Surrounded, gets a hand pass. Johannesson bowled out of the pack. Down goes Bruce. Reaching in there is Smith. He's got the football. Liberatore latches on. And the ball fell at their feet. And we consumed about 20 seconds right there. So 18 seconds to go. And this ball will be thrown up outside the 50.
So the Dogs now nothing to do but gamble. One last crack, and that might just be it.
You'd think so. And fitting at Sicily.
Kicks the match winner and absorbs the clock. Well, those at the top of the mountain don't just fall there. The Hawks, too old, too complacent, too brilliant. Well, Maxie, Sam Mitchell, 8th week in a row, 30 touches or more.
It was unbelievable again today, hammering. Mitch, you guys have been in this situation a lot, but great for a young guy like Sicily to stand up like that.
He's going to have one of those careers, I think. This stuff's going to follow him. You know, blokes play hundreds of games and never get in that situation. He's played his 4th or his 5th game and he gets there and just ice in the veins. Great the way he went about it, no doubt.
They were very impressive, weren't they, the Bulldogs?
Oh, great team. Really good to play against because they're just on. You can't afford to go to sleep 1 second. They really hurt you. Probably the game was played on their terms for at least 3/4 of that, so we're lucky to get over the win, really.
And the belief amongst your boys, yes, you've won a lot of premierships, but you're just never out of the contest.
Yeah, we felt like we let it get away a couple of times, but we knew just from a mental toughness point of view, we really need to get back into it. Even when they got those last 2, you know, really disappointed, but then to have that self-belief to fight back and give ourselves another chance, which we took. You know, great effort by the boys.
Well done, mate.
Thanks.
Outstanding performance by Hawthorn. They really had to dig deep. They were challenged several times, as Mitchell said. But every time they found a way back. Spare a thought for this club. They came in, a lot expected of them, and they didn't let their fans down. A little overawed at the start, but they kept working. But they have paid a hefty price in the last couple of minutes. Their captain coming down with a knee injury.
Yes,
fingers crossed.
Neither too old nor too complacent there on, but I thought the Bulldogs were outstanding today because the ball the game wasn't played the way they wanted to play. They couldn't get really run off halfback. Hawthorn got the break on them early, but they found a way to get 3 goals in front, and Hawthorn, as they always do, they're always in the contest. So they were the ones that were able to find the last quarter. 7 goals. Outstanding. Great game.
The sad part about it all is that, well, we hope it's not the case, but maybe we've seen Bob Murphy for the last time. It couldn't be the case, could it?
Yeah, it was a scary way that he, it was a twist, and you hope that it's a twist that's a legal twist and not a cruciate type twist, but I guess time will tell.
It was a time that demanded the players play out of control, and he was out of control, Murphy, just trying to get access to the ball to punch it away. Just a remarkable finish on a Sunday afternoon at Etihad Stadium. Sam Mitchell celebrates. Hawthorn win by 3 points.
This has been a Fox Footy presentation, part of the Fox Sports Network.